Where's the crash site now?
Over there. We're getting closer.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you Chapter 11 in my Enslaved hard difficulty video walkthrough. And this is the level entitled The Old Battlefield. And I left this cutscene in just to show the folly of Pigsy, who for whatever reason, in his perverted mind, he thinks he somehow stands a chance with Tripp, even though he's one of her father's friends, and he's just a giant paedophile, really. And this entire level is spent of him noticing that this so-called romance blossoming between Tripp and Monkey, and the main characters are completely oblivious to it, which is kind of funny, so it does give way to some pretty comedic moments. But as soon as this starts, this level's actually pretty combat heavy, and there's a boss fight towards the end of it, which is not very difficult, but until you know what you're doing, it can be a bit of a pain. So at the start of here, as you push forward into this little trench, there's going to be robots all around you. There's going to be ones up on the bits of the broken bits of robot and whatever the hell it is, the machinery, the wreckage, the artifacts, the ruins, whatever you want to say, the remnants. And as you can see, there's one over there shooting at me, there's one to my right, and as you push down this area, there's going to be more of them spawning on these little balconies of mountain and rust and whatnot, so you need to be as careful as you possibly can. The best thing about them, though, is they definitely put a bit of a precursor to their presence with the laser beams showing you where they're aiming. And that guy over there is about to call in reinforcements until I shit stomp him in the face. And if you're wondering why I've only just got that achievement, it's because I'm actually playing this on a different account than the one that you know me as. And the reason I do it is, for instance, when I start a game, when I play it the first time through, I generally play on the hardest difficulty, and the achievement's going to pop for me. So when I'm recording the guide, I can't at the end have the achievement popping. And for whatever reason, but YouTube is so full of doubters and haters that everybody seems to want to say you're not playing on the hardest difficulty, when what's the fucking point in saying you're playing on the hardest difficulty when you're not? I mean, we're not all 14 anymore. It's not this massive status or this cultural thing that suddenly turns you into royalty because you can play a game on its hardest difficulty. Anybody can play a game on the harder difficulty. It's just fucking ridiculous. But just keep using your stuns to stop them from hitting you. Use the cover that's spaced around here, because there is a lot of chest-high walls that are conveniently laid just for your comfort. And just remember to keep picking up more ammunition, because you're going to be using your cannon quite a lot in this section. Pigsy is going to back you up, but I don't really think he does much good, so I wouldn't rely on him. But I don't rely on anybody in games, because at the end of the day, if you can't do it yourself, what's the fucking point in playing it? Absolutely unbelievable when it comes to... Like, you go on forums and people saying, oh, the AI on this game is really good, I just used to sit back and let them kill everybody. It's like, you played the game sitting back and letting the computer kill the computer. Wouldn't that be the same as, for instance, turning a TV on and not watching it? It's... I don't understand that mentality of gamers, and that's what makes me laugh about the achievements forums and just achievement sites in general, where you get these people that, don't get me wrong, they're probably the nicest people in the world, you know, they're probably sound people, salient human beings that will one day eventually do good by scrubbing a supermarket floor or licking a bus window, but they're trying to find the easiest, least work needed, least effort needed to get through games to get achievements, when I kind of think achievements themselves, by their very nature, are a display of your effort towards games, because if you've gone out of your way to get 1000G on a game, you've done a good thing, you've achieved everything that game had to offer, and you put as much effort into it as you physically could to get everything from it. I don't understand these people that are like, oh, can you just load last level on hardest difficulty and play it and then get the achievements so you don't have to play the full game because I don't want to sit down and do that anymore. It's like, who are these fucking people that just have such a phobia of actually playing games that they want everything done for them? Like, that's what I hate about glitches. And people might look at my gamer tag and see some of the achievements I've got on it and think, oh, you're a cheater, you've glitched that, you've done this, you've done that. And you can think that all you want, but if I meet you in person, I'm going to smash your fucking face in. Because I haven't glitched a single achievement on my entire tag. Everything's been earned by me, it's not been earned by anybody else. Oh, well, I tell a lie. There's one achievement on 007 Bloodstone that a friend did for me when he came round when we were having an all-nighter party. And it was a driving achievement, so I don't really mind. But that is the only achievement on my tag that's been that's been acquired by somebody else, and I will openly say it, and I think it's worth 20G. I'm about to hit 200,000 gamer score, so my gamer score is quite high, so I'm generally victimized to messages along the lines of, "You have no life," says the guy who's a 10th prestige and's put 40 days into Modern Warfare 2, or something along the lines of, you know, "You ain't got a girlfriend," or something like that. That's generally a really popular one, which is, I always find ironic, because the gaming community itself is pretty volatile, and it's not supported whatsoever by the outside world. It's still seen as this almost hedonistic, childish, almost, you know, like fucking subculture of humans that don't go outside and like listening to satanic death metal and cutting themselves with large ornamental knives. And it's really nothing like that to anybody that's actually played a game. So for people who are also gamers to berate other gamers just seems to be like an industry shooting itself in the foot, especially from a community point of view. But at the end of the day, people are like stars. Some shine bright and brilliantly, and there are those who are dim. And by dim, I obviously mean dumb, retarded, ridiculously infantile pieces of dog shit that should be burnt and coalesced in hell by the devil's ass crack. But once you've climbed up there, you don't actually have to do what I just did. That's just a little bit of a side area to collect some orbs, and I'm all about finding the tech orbs, because I was actually trying to get 1000G on this game until I realised it was going to be the most frustrating thing since, you know, sitting down too fast and sitting on a bollock. So I quickly gave that up as a bad job. But it's not too long, this level, compared to the last one, because once you get to the... I forget its name. It's been such a long time. There's a boss, and it's the Rhino, there we go. The Rhino boss that's coming up. That's just like a dog, don't worry, it's almost identical to the dog fights. It's just Pigsy decides to get a bit creative, and you have to do a couple of different things. But it's still the rule of Mario, where you do things 3 times and everyone falls down and laughs. So it's all good and well. But this is probably going to mark the end of this commentary session, because I have to edit the rest of the videos, because for whatever reason I've got lazy in my old age and I only edited as far as this level, so there's a couple more after it, which is a bit lazy on my part. But there's so much stuff I've got to read on the internet, there's so much stuff I've got to watch that I've missed out on, there's so much I've got to listen to, I've got to play. It's just, I'm trying to squeeze 3 weeks into 2 days of just missing out, and it's not easy, because I'm always thinking of what I could be doing or what I want to do and what I need to do, and I'm just glad to be home. Oh, I truly am. But finish off these machines however you want to. You can shoot them, because you don't really need your ammunition that bad, or you can beat them up. It's whatever takes your fancy. And there we go, that's another one down. Collect the orbs, and then keep pushing on, following Tripp, listening to the witty banter between them all. And there's going to be another one of the chase sequences coming up, so you weren't too good at the one with the dog. This one, I'm not too sure if it's harder, but it's pretty much the exact same vein. It'll take you a couple of times to get the line down, but as soon as you do, you shouldn't have too much trouble with it. And this is the boss fight at the end, where the palm is. Did you see the little like mole on his hand? That is actually a machine that's all huddled up and sleeping. And when you get to that section, it's going to turn into a boss fight. So be aware that you're going to be taking on a nice giant mechanical menace quite shortly. And it's almost exactly the same. He's going to rush you, he's going to bull rush you blindly, dodge out of his way, shoot him with your staff, and then once you've done enough damage, Pigsy's going to start throwing some mines, so that when you do stun him, you can shoot the mines, and these giant, like, explosive barrel or cylinder things will fall and do extra damage to him. And there is an achievement for doing this fight without being hit, which I've done on my other profile, and this is actually quite weird, because if you watch this encounter, which I'm going to watch because I'm commentating it, obviously, and you're going to watch if you need help. I don't get hit in this fight, but I don't get the achievement, and it baffled me. And I've left a couple of cutscenes in here, and I'm not too sure why. So let's see if I get hit. So you start off, he does his little roar, he starts kicking his feet, and that means he's going to charge, obviously. He signposts his movements. This is Pigsy pushing down the explosive thing that you need to use later on. So there it goes, it puts its lid down and then charges you. So all you have to do is roll. You don't have to do on your Icarus, you don't have to go, you know, crazy on the cloud. You can just run and roll right there. So there's the first one. Do you think that counts as hitting me? He didn't hit me, it shouldn't have hit me, but I think it might have counted, because I just can't remember getting hit in this fight, and I didn't get the achievement because I remember it fondly. Because it was a first run as well. I didn't need to do a couple to... I didn't die or anything. I mean, look at that, that was really close then. That's one of the main problems with this boss fight, because he has a certain amount of distance he has to travel. Sometimes he'll do the bullshit boomer turn, and he'll just cover distance ridiculously, and do a little, like, U-turn and still hit you. So there you go, shoot down the things that the Pigsy's told you to use, and then he's going to charge at you once more, so just dodge him, get over as quickly as you can to the explosive device, stand near it, wait for him to run at you, and then dodge out of the way. There we go, he missed that time, the son of a bitch. But if you stand here and you don't move, it'll stun him when he hits the explosion. There you go, and it goes into cutscene, so you don't actually take any damage and you're not in any trouble. So, there is that. Run away from him with the cloud, gain some distance, wait for him to charge, dash again, dash with your roll, and Pigsy's going to throw some bombs up to the very final explosive device you have to use. And you just have to shoot the mine. Wait for him to charge. Never ever aim for that unless you know where he is, because you're just going to get hit. Do you think that counted as a hit just then? My life hasn't gone down. He was really close to me, but I don't know. And then once you climb up this, you are safe, and this is the end of the fight. You just have to do some light platforming. So, answers on a postcard, guys. Did I get hit then? Did you see me take damage? I sure fucking didn't. And I know for a certain I didn't get the achievement afterwards. Notifications or no notifications. But climb up here, and then you're going to be treated to the demise of the rhino. But it's never that simple, is it? Because there's going to be one of those ridiculous chase sequences. So here's the cutscene. And there you go, there's the skipping of the cutscene. And right away, it's the exact same logic as before. Hit as many of the boost symbols as you can. You're probably going to fail a couple times because this is a highly interactive chase sequence with things falling down, opportunities to fall off, opportunities to miss jumps and get stuck and get screwed. So just get used to it. Do bear in mind, jumping slows you down. So if you only jump when you necessarily have to, if you can get across a gap by just, you know, hitting it at speed, I would definitely try to do that like I did just then. But it's just a little bit of practice, and you will get an achievement for doing it fast. But you will see yourself fail a few times unless you're very lucky or you're gifted at those kind of sections, because it's just a silly thing that crops up a couple times and you just have to grin and bear it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope it helped, and you take care now.